Welcome to Neurodesign. My name is Rachel Melvald. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a trained designer. This show is going to explore the intersection of our living space and how psychology and neuroscience impacts how we think, feel, and act. It's going to be comedic, it's going to be healing, and it's going to be a reveal of a beautiful design space. Do you ever wonder how couples war and then a design solution can be the actual solution? This show reveals how design can affect our well-being as well as create harmonious relationships. Welcome to today's episode of Neurodesign, where we see how architecture, design, and psychology meet to explore how we feel in space and how space affects how we think, feel, and behave. This is a really special episode here up at the Peter Blake House. It's a Richard Neutra Levitt house up at Beverly Hills. It's such a special gem, and we're focusing on it because how mid-century modern architecture embodies neurodesign. With its open space and its continuous openness to nature, it embodies how biophilia, balance, wayfinding all support how we think and feel in a space to enhance our well-being. Come on in. There I want to just show you one of the most exquisite pieces, one of my favorite sculptures by the name, her artist is Stephanie Bicharo. And she's one of the most special artists we know. She has overcome an amazing feat in her own cognitive personal life, where she chose a medium like sculpture to really work at the hardest medium to really explore how movement really connects in the air and how we really embody sculpture in space. As we walk on a stone, you'll notice how stone obviously is a sense on our feet that causes us to feel the texture of feeling alive. With the uneven steps, it really gets us to be more present because it's not a predictable step, right? And when it's too predictable, we're not really getting our cognitive functioning on. We want to be challenged a little bit. So we see more of this beautiful sculpture at the Peter Blake House. It's just so dynamic. It's so fluid. And I love how it interacts with light, space, nature, reflection.
And do we have Perrier?
And look, okay, this is a main feature of the Peter Blake House exhibition up at this Neutra Levitt house, is Perrier. Please do not dismiss what animal and dog loves does to our psyche. They are known to come from heaven to earth to help us human beings feel loved and healed, right? And as you enter the Peter Blake House, you are already infused with the best 90s music.
Are you going to come with me, Perrier?
All the elements that are very balancing that make just a Neutra so exquisite.
Are you giving a tour? Are you giving a tour of your home? Yes, you are. Yes. Are you my friend?
There we have the record room, which is so beautifully curated. Musicology is such an important part of well-being and mental health. I'm an artaholic. giving a tour of the Peter Blake house, who is like, oh my God, do I have to get thrown into this right now? But look at him with this backdrop and his like curating and designing such a masterpiece with the architect. And we've talked about this before, that you really resonate with the architect when you're working in the design of the space, right?
Yes.
And what is your sense of Neutra, and how you connected with Neutra?
But he's paring it down to the absolute minimum. And so the whole house becomes about the way light comes through it, the views, its relationship to nature. You'll see that, there's nature takes over in ways, and then you have this kind of beautiful structure that sits in the middle of it. And so when we were designing and curating the art and design here, we just kind of stepped back and let Neutra in his own way and the house guide us.
Yeah, it really, you sense that. It feels like it's in concert with each other, that it really is like the symphonic, the art doesn't get in the way of the architecture, it lets it kind of breathe.
Yes.
In that minimalism. And his artists are just California, would you say California light?
Yeah, these artists in the late 60s and early 70s were interested in capturing the light of California. They were using materials that hadn't been used before. They weren't as interested as painting people or trees or landscapes. They were really interested in just capturing that light. So some of them were surfers, some of them painted cars. And so they were totally open to using all of these different materials. But the cohesive thread through all of their work was the way light was absorbed or reflected or refracted. They're just beautiful works. And they are in some ways minimal, but I think they're very complicated, very complex works. And that, looks like a very simple pink wedge, but depending on where the light's coming from, it becomes very geometric. The light becomes very geometric inside of it. It's just a beautiful work.
Oh yeah, it really is exquisite. And to just be in its presence, like you said, there's a complexity, but just in its beauty. And it's just sheer beauty.
And he said, and that's when he brought up this word haptic, which I still don't understand what it fully means. But he said that a house with people in it and furniture, even if it's not right, is better than an architecturally significant home without people, without furniture. And so I still don't believe that, but I understand where he's coming from.
It's lived it.
It's lived it. And part of, this is our fourth Blake house that we've done. And I do believe that there is a sense of us living here that people, they get the feeling of when they walk in, not just, it's not like one of these homes that is just toured. It's not an art show or a design show or a corporate staged modernism show. It's an actual home, and we go out of our way to listen to the house and kind of curate these environments and these immersive experiences for people that are at that intersection of art, design, architecture, and nature. So all four houses have had all of those elements going at once. Art, architecture, design, it all kind of goes together to form life as art.
And what about that exquisite chair in the far corner?
That's called the flying carpet chair. It's postmodern Italian by Ettore Sottsass. There's a movement called Mectus, and they designed some very whimsical, very contemporary furniture in Italy. I find things all over the world, and I source them and I bring them back. And I'm not interested in dealing in a ton of stuff, but I find these very, very unique things, and we usually restore them and then we offer them to our clients.
And here we conclude a tour of the Peter Blake house. This was such a special opportunity to see not only an architectural gem, but the art pieces that embody this gem all make a symphonic experience that appeals to all of our senses. And when we have our senses engaged in an artful way, in an inspiring way, I feel we feel better. That's the vibe we want to be in. So I hope to continue to share these exquisite places and how we also can transform places in future episodes, and how harmony and how we live together in these spaces can also be supported by psychology. Thank you.